Okay, so I've had a couple of comments about the fact that for a series on making a vertical shaft or a horizontal shaft engine, I haven't actually discussed the mechanics of that too well. So here we go. To start with, I've made a dipper splasher thing off the end of the con rod. Now, having never actually seen one in real life, I've only seen a couple of grainy pictures on the internet. I don't know how well I've done on that. It might be too long. It's kind of about the same width as the distance between the bolts and the con rod, if that's a reference for anyone. It's about 8mm or 3/8 of an inch wide, so I get the feeling I might have made it a little bit too wide and it'll act like a sort of too much of a paddle, so I don't want it being having too much resistance and like snapping off when it's running. I heated it up and quenched it in carbonated oil, so it's, you know, good and hard. So yeah, if anyone has any comments or ideas on that, then post back. My friend who's getting me the gasket material to make for the diaphragm isn't going to be back for a few days, so it's going to be a while before I seal up the crankcase for good. The old splasher I'm just going to cut off there because this is just not needed anymore, it'll just get in the way. In Charger Miles 007's video, he talked about these ports here. I think his engine might have been slightly different design to mine, because his cam one had a hole off the bottom, I think, and didn't have one on the top, so his friend had to make one there, and did the same story there. Mine's got a hole in both places, so I'm going to try and leave it as is. I haven't got any access to aluminium welding to block up that hole there, but we'll see how that goes. My plan for handling the oil for the engine is this: when this was in that orientation, this bit here was the drain valve for it, so my plan is to, if I want to be fancy, then take that off and make a sort of a tube going up vertically like that, and dipstick and everything. That I kind of just want to get it up and running, so my plan is just to tilt the engine back and pour oil through there, and then one day I'll make a, you know, proper sort of fancy, well-engineered sort of solution to that. You know, the bottom of the engine being there, I think that should be, if I can get some oil level with that, then that will be plenty for lubricating the engine. And then in the reverse of it, what used to be the oil in hole there is now going to be the drain valve, so I'm just going to make a plug for that on the lathe to seal that up. Normally put a couple of O-rings around it, or take the O-ring off the old stem that came out of that, and then seal that up like that. While I've got the engine taken apart, I got a question from someone on oldminibikes.com forum about what this shaft here was. I don't know exactly, but it was described as a perpendicular auxiliary axle, so I'm assuming it's to help the older style mowers where it had the spinning drum at the front to move along, because they can be quite heavy, as opposed to the later engines, lawn mowers that had just the spinning blade underneath. So how it works is you've got the shaft through here, and it has this little bracket here which slides in and locks that, so stops the shaft from coming out. It's got this cog here which has a pin that goes through to lock it onto the shaft, and then that connects to this coil on the camshaft, so it's geared down quite a lot from the main axle. Yeah, so that's what that's for. I've made jokes about running a supercharger off the axle, but something tells me I'm not going to do that, so yeah, if anyone else has any ideas about it, then comment back and I might do it. Cheers.